Hey, what's up YouTube? Beautiful sunny day here in Ithaca, New York, and I am solar charging the brand new Tesla Model X. I haven't really charged it much at home at all because, well, first part is the battery is so big that I haven't had to charge it much at all anyway, but I've been using the supercharger downtown in Ithaca for free. So this is, I think, only the second time I'm even charging it at home. But this video isn't actually about my Model X. So I'm going back to my T-Rex version 2, the T-Rex camper, and I borrowed a front bumper from my awesome Tesla parts guy in Cortland, and I need to make the front of this aerodynamic somehow. So I'm thinking about using this. Well, unfortunately I can't keep this. It's his, he didn't have any extras, and I'm gonna make a mold to somehow incorporate the look of this. It's got a great curve to it, of course. You know, Tesla's worked on their aerodynamics, and I think somehow I need to incorporate this with the T-Rex camper because the overall shape and the side lines here are actually pretty much identical to the Model X. So that's great news. I'm not really gonna be dinged with aero there, but the Toyota RAV4 is boxier in the back, so it's actually taller. And that's why this front corner right here, don't mind me, I'm just gonna use this to point. That's why this front corner right here is a few inches higher than the top of the rear spoiler in the Model X. So I just need to bring it down a little bit to help with aero. Today is Tuesday, and I'm going to Poolsville for one of the huge National Drive Electric weeks this Friday. So I'm gonna leave Friday probably around 6 p.m. So I don't know if this will be done in time, but I'm planning on taking this whole camper and the Model X down to the show. So I really need to get my butt moving and figure out how to do this, basically, and just to help the aero. I don't know if I'll get it done in time for the show this weekend, but I guess if you go to the show, you'll know if I got it done in time because you'll see me there. So that's the project I'm gonna work on today. See how far I can get. I don't even have fiberglass. I'm gonna have to hopefully find fiberglass tomorrow, but at least I need to figure out the shape and how to make this work now. Yeah, more to come. We'll see if I can get it done. Well, I'm making okay progress so far. I just kind of put some lines on this to try to center this little thing that I built. So this is the spacing that I'm thinking of away from the front wall. Let's see if I can get a better handle on this. So something like this. I don't know if you can even make out the lines, but let me try to get a better handle. Just need like 2 or 3 more hands. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. It's definitely going to stick out pretty far, and it's gonna hang up over this stuff, and then I will get some cotton fabric like I did for the corners there, and I will wrap that tightly around the front piece and all around the edges of the camper, and then I use paintbrushes and just paint on the epoxy resin, and that absorbs into the cotton cloth and it holds the shape. So that's kind of what I'm thinking so far. I am gonna take the rest of the night off and just think about it before I really spend any money and screw anything up. But I think that's kind of what I'm thinking. The shape of the Model S front I think is just going to work. What's unfortunate is that this whole front compartment won't be insulated. So I kind of wanted to make it a storage space for inside the cabin and just have a couple doors that slid open, just like I did inside next to the TV, if you saw my other videos about that. But it's not going to be insulated, so potentially condensation could just accumulate in there, and that wouldn't be good. So we'll see. That's where I'm at for now. I think that's it for the night. Don't have too many days and nights to get this done before Poolsville, but we'll see how much I can get done. Good morning, guys. It's the next morning. I've been thinking about this a lot, and I just whipped this up, and I kind of like the direction I'm going. I think this will work pretty well. You can see the frame I have mocked up. It sticks out a bit. Let's see if I can measure. I think the frame was about 18 inches. So this is about 19 inches. So it's a little goofy to have this hanging off the front, but I think this is going to be the way for the best aero. And then underneath it, I think I'm just going to go straight back and have a straight floor, and I can use this eventually as a compartment inside the camper for more storage. I can just cut a couple holes in that wall there. But for now, in order to hopefully get this done in the next couple days, I don't think I'll make that cut yet. But you can see how I think it lines up pretty good with the Model X. Oh, actually, forgot to drop the ball. So that's actually going to be a little low. All right, I guess I gotta check that out. Okay, that was a bit of an oversight, but I've got it latched on now. And yeah, so indeed, I could have gone higher with my little frame, because you can see now that is going to be below the Model X rear wing, but I'm going to leave it. A, I don't really feel like undoing it and moving it up a couple inches, but B, I think this will make the trailer usable for Model S as well, because the Model S is a lower car, and now I think this will be low enough to help with aero in a Model S if I ever used it with that or sold it or something. All right, so I like the way that's looking. I'll go buy some fabric and get this thing wrapped up. All right, I've got everything covered that I don't want to get resin on. I put some newspaper to cover up the nose cone just as another layer of protection. I've got tape on it, but I really don't want to damage it because my Tesla parts guy was cool enough to let me borrow it. I picked up the fabric. I think it's 60% cotton and 40% polyester or something like that. It stretches more in one direction than the other, so that's the next step, is I'm gonna get it taped up in place and try to stretch it. It's going to hold the form so I can then put fiberglass on top of it. So here we go. Okay, I just pulled the car up just to get a good look at it, see if this is what I like. Looks pretty crazy, but I think it'll work. The bottom I kind of left loose just because I'm gonna have to do some other work in the bottom just to get it squared, flat, and probably add like a piece of foam or something underneath it. But for now, I'm really just worried about getting the shape on the top, on the side. So it is still kind of a scoop right here, but I can add some material in there, some matting and more fiberglass to bring that, build that up a little bit. Unfortunately, I got this all taped up and everything, and I forgot to put anything on the camper itself. I should have put a piece of tape around here, so it's probably going to end up bonding to the camper. It's pretty glossy, so maybe not, but that kind of sucks. We'll see how it comes off in the end, but I'm definitely not going to take everything off just to put some tape there, so we'll see. All right, I think it's time for resin. So there's the first layer of resin. You can see I just kind of stopped around there. I'll have to figure the bottom part out later. And it's sagging a little bit because of the weight of the resin. And I think I probably really screwed up by not taping the camper underneath this. So really hope that doesn't bite me in the butt. And also another thing I already noticed that I screwed up is that the newspaper that I put here to protect the front bumper cover is really loose right here, and it's gonna make this form a little weird. I'll have to do some sanding and filling to get that nice and smooth. But that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna head out and try to track down some fiberglass sheeting. So I'll let this dry and I'll go for a little trip. All right, about $75, and a couple hours later, I've purchased all of the fiberglass mat that's available in town. Let's check it out and see how it's doing. Looks like it's absorbing into the fabric. Still very flexible. But what I'm gonna do now is put a layer of fiberglass down and then put some more resin on top of that, and then put some fiberglass mat in there, and then another layer of fiberglass sheeting. So it's gonna be kind of like be a sandwich. And we'll see, hopefully that's enough. The stuff that I'm using isn't as thick, it's not as heavy as what I used to do the outside of this. Like all of this was a heavier mat, and I just don't have that, and I don't have time to order anymore because all of that stuff that I use for the whole camper came from California, and it would take about a week to get here, so I don't have that kind of time. I didn't really plan this out at all. Just, it looks crazy. I guess it doesn't look any more crazy than the rest of the camper. All right, yeah, so I'm just gonna start working on the fiberglass. So there's the first layer of fiberglass. Got that all the way around. I have this just sagging here, and like I said, at some point I'll have to figure out the bottom part, probably use a piece of foam and shape it around the foam. But for now, I definitely need to get the top done first. And I am starting to add a bit of weight, so I don't want to go too crazy at this point. I think I'm going to let it cure for maybe an hour, and then I have some fiberglass matting, and I'm going to put it just in this low spot here, and then another layer of fiberglass. So for now, I think I'm just going to let it cure in the hot sun right now, and then do another layer here shortly. But that's what we're looking at. Of course, the wind is picking up right now. Hopefully you can hear me. But this is pretty much it. So I've got many layers. There's, like I said before, it's basically a sandwich of fiberglass, then fiberglass matting, and then more fiberglass. And I think it looks pretty good. I think the cut line is just going to be somewhere around here. This is the corner of the camper. So I think just somewhere along that line is going to be my cut line. And I don't want to touch it because my hands are all clean, but oh, I got a couple little air bubbles in there, darn. But it came out pretty nice. Oh, I gotta push some of this down. It's firming up pretty quick already. Yeah, those air bubbles are already pretty stiff, so not much I can do about that. Yeah, so there we are. From here, I guess I'll just let it cure some more and hope to God I can get this thing off. We'll see how that goes. Definitely looks crazy, but I think it'll help with the aero. We'll see. More to come. Good morning, YouTube. It is Thursday morning, so I'm getting down there in time. I've got the frame out, which you can see. That came out pretty nice and doesn't look damaged at all. So my Tesla parts guy will be happy about that. And the form is holding. It looks pretty, well, I don't know how good it looks, but it's serving the purpose that I designed it for. And I think I'm gonna be able to peel this off okay. And then the plan is once I reattach it, or once I'm ready to reattach it, I would probably put some sealant around on the inside and then stainless steel screws or maybe bolts to keep it on. So what I'm working on right now is this bottom foam piece that's gonna support the underside of it, and then eventually maybe be the floor to the cabinets that I will eventually maybe put in there. So I'll show you kind of up close what it looks like. I'll see if I can get you underneath. This is what it looks like underneath it. That's the front. So I've shaped this. I shaped this foam piece to fit right in there. So now the plan is to wrap this around the front of it, let that cure, and then once it's hard enough that I can play around a little bit more, I'll do some more wrapping on the sides around it and then wrap the whole bottom piece. Once the bottom piece is secured in, then I can try to remove it and just do some touch-up fiberglass in pieces wherever I need to once it's off the trailer. And hopefully gonna get this done before I leave. I think Friday around 6 o'clock is probably when I'm gonna be leaving. So gotta work all day today, all day tomorrow, and hopefully get it done. All right, here we are. The bottom is on. It's kind of hard to see, but the foam, let's see, there it is. So I got the edge. Corners can be kind of difficult with fiberglass, but I got the edge. It's still dripping because it's obviously still curing, but the frame and the front bumper came out just fine. Not a scratch on it. Well, no additional scratches on it. It was already a little scratched, but that's where I'm at. So now I'm going to let this cure for a little while, and I'm going to go run out, get some more supplies, and then do another layer on the bottom. And once that's secure, then I should be able to try to get it off. Happy Friday, everyone. So we made it. This thing is on here and it's, well, not quite done because it's not sanded or painted, but it is there and it's ready to be used. So looks like if you're coming to Poolsville, Maryland for the National Drive Electric Week show, you're gonna see this thing and we can all laugh at it together. But anyway, so my initial screw up, as I predicted, kind of got me in the end. This section right here I should have taped and I didn't. So this thing is not coming off. I would have preferred to have it be removable so I could either glue it on or bolt it on or have something a little bit more controlled, I guess. But it is what it is. It's on here now and it is not going anywhere. When I shake it, the whole camper moves. So it seems like it's really on there. And I added some fiberglass underneath here to keep any air from catching the bottom side and pushing it up. I know it's not the prettiest job, but hopefully once I sand it and paint it, it'll come out and turn out okay. But there we are. So that's how you make a custom nose cone using a Tesla front bumper. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to do all that YouTube stuff and like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.